You're listening to Careers and Cocktails, career talk with a twist, hosted by expert recruiter Renee Frey. Let's get this party started.
Hey party people, welcome to Careers and Cocktails. I am thrilled to have someone from my hometown in Forest Lake, Minnesota. We actually went to school together. Therese Molloy is here, and let me tell you all about her, and then we are going to have a blast making a spicy margarita per her request. Mm-hmm. So Therese has been featured as a singer, voiceover talent, and actor in studios and on stages in Chicago, New York, and Los Angeles. In her current city of Minneapolis, where she has recently returned after a successful 15-year career in Chicago, she has voiced numerous national television and radio commercials for large clients, brands that you will know, Dove, Red Lobster, and Truvia, both as a singer and voiceover artist. And I thought you did a Jeep commercial.
Yes, I've done Jeep. Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's Therese. So welcome. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us, you chose, while I rimmed the glass with lime and our chili powder sea salt blend, tell us, you picked this
because it just seemed fitting. It's so gloomy outside, and having something spicy and tropical kind of, I don't know, lifts the mood a little bit.
I totally agree.
Was my thought process. So
I love it. And it smells so fresh in our studio. We have fresh cut jalapenos and limes, and the jalapenos have been infused in the Casamigas tequila for about 25 minutes.
Perfect.
And we've got fresh squeezed lime juice.
This is an amazing setup.
Yeah, we do our best. Ooh, we need a little more salt there. Uh-oh, I'm getting lime in there. You can have this one. Okay. We'll trade. All right. So for the spicy margarita cocktail, you need 1 cup of tequila, half to a quarter jalapeno pepper plus extra slices for garnish, half cup fresh lime juice plus lime for garnish, half cup simple syrup, and then a few splashes of sparkling water and a handful of ice. So we have our lime juice freshly squeezed already in the shaker with some ice, and I'm going to add in the tequila. Hopefully I don't make a big mess like I always do. Yum. And then we will add the simple syrup right to the shaker, and then we'll just do a few splashes, and we'll see what it tastes like and modify if we need to. Oh, yum.
Okay, bartending skills.
Yeah, I'm a total enthusiast, and I'm spilling everywhere. Hold on. We can clean up. All right. Then we will... have an issue. Here. Hand me the strainer.
I did the same thing. Here you go.
Thank you.
It's like it's frozen to it.
I know. Let's fill yours.
Okay. Thank you.
And then you tell me.
There's little
jalapeno seeds in there. All right, let's take a taste.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have poured it out. Cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
It's good.
That's good.
Do you need something else in there?
No.
All right.
It's yummy. It's got a perfect amount of heat.
It does.
Lovely.
It is good.
And it's not too sweet, which is awesome.
All right. So we've ran into each other in town, and we stay connected on Facebook. But tell me about your journey. What are you up to? What happened after high school? Where'd you go? Because you've been all over, big cities performing. How fun. Yeah. Like, to me, that sounds like the sexiest career ever. So tell us more.
It's been really fun. It's been a really fun journey. I went to college after high school in Dubuque, Iowa, a small performing liberal arts school. And then I decided, studying theater and music. And then I decided I wanted to take off a little early. So I went to Minneapolis for a while, and then I got an agent, and then went out to Los Angeles for a period of time.
So how did you get an agent? Like,
back then, I mean, it's so different now. But back then you would submit a headshot.
okay.
I mean, so now we're getting ancient. I'm going to show my age now here. And you would hope that somebody would call you. And then somebody did. They saw, I had a decent resume in college, and you would audition, and that's how it was.
Cool.
And then I ended up booking a film that was shot in Minnesota. It was like one of the first things I actually auditioned for, which kind of, I guess, showed that I had some sort of chops.
Wow.
Because it was like,
does that ever happen for people?
Oh, I'm sure it does. People get their little breaks here and there. This movie was really fun, and I was a completely green at anything like that. Theater was my focus. So, but anyway, it was a lot of fun. It kind of put me in this realm of like, okay, I really like being in front of a camera. I like to have that kind of quick, the shots here and there, and as opposed to being on the stage and working, 7 days a week and I just wanted to do something different. So I went out to LA with a bunch of other Minnesota actors. This is a long time ago. Anyway, that I found wasn't really for me.
Sure. And
so I moved back to the cities, and then I moved to Chicago to pursue there was a relationship going on. Oh my God.
It's always for love. Don't be nervous.
Yes, it was
all
for
about love
or perceived love. And so, but I loved it there. And I was able to kind of get into the advertising end of things, which wasn't something that was familiar to me living back in Minneapolis or being a part of the theater thing. It was a completely behind the scenes career, I guess, if you will. And I decided I really wanted to pursue it. It was like using my acting skills, but on a completely kind of different level. And I really like the advertising vibe.
Sure.
And there was also, you could do the music end of it too. So I worked at a music house in Chicago.
Fun.
And they composed original music for television commercials. And
awesome.
So one day I was asked to come in to audition it was a Red Lobster commercial. And the client ended up liking what they heard. And then I booked that. And then that led to a really long career with that client.
Awesome.
And then it led to other clients as well. So it was a really, really good run. And I feel really grateful for the opportunity to do it, because it's not something that, is an easy thing to get into.
Oh, of course.
And I got lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. So
awesome.
I feel very fortunate for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So now what are you up to? You're back in?
So I'm back, and so we've done for full circle now.
Yep,
I've come
life
back
is one
home.
circle.
Yes, and now I have a family. So that's a completely different thing. My focus has changed quite a bit. And so it's not just about, me and me. It's my
darn it
family. I know, right? So one thing, the industry's changed a lot, but I'm still pursuing the voiceover and singing career. But I've kind of found that I'm able to kind of branch off on other creative levels. I like to do things and try to keep try to be as creative as I can. Mm-hmm. And cooking has always been something that I've loved to do. And I got a chance to do a lot more of it after I had a family, and found that I'm actually, I'm okay at it.
Yeah, I saw pictures of you. Were you in a cooking
it was a
cooking
competition. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was really fun. It was for Canvas Health. It was for a fundraiser, and there were a number of us who got to compete for this fundraiser, just all in fun. And it was an overwhelming request, because I've never done anything like this before, but I don't know, I'm all about a challenge. And so I was like, let's go for it. And I had some really good help. My husband helped, and another one of our friends from Forest Lake, Jody, helped out immensely. I couldn't have done it without them. And I didn't win, but that's okay. It's all good. Okay. It was a good experience anyway. So
awesome.
Yeah, and so I'm working at a B&B as a chef there part-time. And then I'm working to venture out and doing my own thing that involves creating and food together. Food's love, and just want to spread it. So
I love it. So what can we celebrate for you this week, Therese?
Well, as of last week, I completed my cottage food producer certification, and I'm waiting to get the results back from my food manager certification.
Sure.
And then I can move forward with getting a license. So
well, cheers to that,
yes,
girl.
Thank you.
And you'll have to tell me what that means afterwards. We're getting warm in here.
I know.
What does that mean? Sort of tell me about that. I know nothing about the food industry.
Basically, if you want to do any sort of, the cottage food producer is more for people who want to, if you want to cook out of your home, for example, if you want to bake or,
yeah, so you have to have a certified kitchen, right?
Well, you don't for a cottage producer if you make a certain amount of money. See, these are all things that I've kind of been learning about.
Sure.
And so you take a test and you apply for that. And if you make a certain amount of money, you're at this tier. If you make a certain amount, you're at the second tier. And I just went for the second tier, even though I'm making no money off of it whatsoever.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. And then the other certification is a food manager certification. It's basically, I spent the day in a classroom learning about food safety practices. And then you take a test at the end. And then once you have that, then that opens you up to getting different licenses of running certain food businesses in the state.
Cool.
So whether I need it or not, I'm going to have it.
Perfect.
I might as well get ahead of things. I had actually sprained my ankle. I'm like, what can I do while my foot is up that I can do from home and then kind of sort of advance that creative, get those creative juices going. And
I love that. Yeah. So how did you discover your love of food and cooking?
It goes back to childhood. My mom is a great cook, and whether I knew that at the time when I was little or not, I wasn't the most adventurous eater, but she was always cooking something different. She kind of from all over the world. I remember going to an Ethiopian restaurant when we were like six, when I was like 6.
Right.
So there was a lot of variety in our food growing up. And so she always kind of inspired me to cook, as well as my grandparents. And then, when you're alone, you don't cook a lot for yourself. Because, when you cook a meal,
and then I personally can't stand leftovers, so.
No, I can't either. I can't. I get bored or something. It's like, unless it's pizza or something super simple, which I totally can.
Pizza or tacos, I can do leftovers. Everything else, I don't want it again.
No,
in the same week.
Either, at least not in the same
yeah,
week.
Yep. Agreed.
So I would cook for myself, but there was a time where we didn't have social media, where it wasn't like, let's take a picture and see if other people like the look of it. So it wasn't as exciting to do those things. And then having friends and family to cook for, that was something that I would take on. Since it wasn't so satisfying to cook for myself, I would have, little gatherings at my apartment or wherever I was living in Chicago, which could have been anywhere at any given month. But then when I had my family and I met Noel, there was just this kind of nurturing thing that kind of came out on a natural level. It was kind of the way that I expressed my love for all of them was to cook. And they're all really adventurous eaters, which is really great.
Oh, you're lucky.
So it's been
Even
fun.
Your son?
Yeah, my son's pretty good. And I have a stepdaughter as well.
Okay.
And she will eat anything. Anything I put in front of her, she will try. So, and give me an honest opinion. Yeah.
What's your favorite dish to make? Like if I was coming over, what would we be eating?
Well, I'd probably ask you what you like to eat or what you don't like to eat.
There's only, I think, 3 things that I don't. Well, no, 2.
Okay.
Goat cheese and grapefruit.
Okay.
That's on my do not eat list.
Okay.
Everything else is fair game.
Okay. So probably what I would do is I really like kind of like tapas style.
Oh, me too.
Right? I think it can tell you a lot about a person. So if I have a number of different things the first time I have you over, then I have a really good idea of what you're really into and what you're not really into. You know what I mean?
Fun. But isn't that a lot of work for you on
yeah,
the
but
other
I like
side?
it. I like a good challenge. It's all good.
So what would be included in the tapas?
Oh.
I'm totally putting you on the spot.
Jeez. I would have probably some. I'm trying to think what I did at my last one. I had like bacon wrap dates with.
Oh,
right?
yum.
This is that time of the year too, right?
Bacon. You had me at bacon.
Warm things, warm, yummy things. I might do some olives, some crudité, some maybe even like kind of mix it up. I love like French, Moroccan, Spanish, kind of like smoky, and lots of cheese.
I love cheese.
So just to kind of see like where your palate's at, and then we have a lot of good sweets and things like that.
I love
so if
it.
you're having a big sit down though, I love to make a good like bolognese, like a good pasta.
Awesome.
Big rich red meat sauce, and
you can't go wrong with that, right?
No.
Everyone even my picky girls who are 7 and 9 love pasta.
They love pasta.
Yep.
Can you get them to eat like the spaghetti, or do you still kind of cook? You know what I'm saying? Like I hate cutting for my son, even though I like to eat.
Oh yeah, no,
noodles.
they are huge on noodles, but we have to keep the sauce and the noodles separate.
On the separate. I was that way though too.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
everything
maybe,
they did to be complete.
Yeah.
And they couldn't touch.
They're
so
okay.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Hopefully they will grow into adventurous eaters like my husband and I, because we keep encouraging. We say you have to try everything once, which they have an open mind to.
Good.
Sometimes they don't like it, sometimes they do. So
yeah, it's kind of fun to watch the faces though, because right.
Oh, totally. Well, and my 9-year-old's a drama queen, so
oh gosh,
she'll like gag and make a huge production.
Oh no,
and then need the trash. So anyway, we won't go there.
Oh my gosh.
So Therese, we are on a party bus.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going to invite that's famous and still living?
Okay, so it's famous and still living.
Yes.
Okay, because I was thinking, I have to bring my PIC, which is my husband, but he's not famous, so.
And what is PIC?
Partner in crime.
Oh, partner.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, you got to bring your PIC. This is a bit of a, I'm divulging some information that I don't divulge.
We want it all.
To everybody.
Everyone does it on Careers and Cocktails.
Because you said party bus. So we're not thinking of like, an interview at lunch with tea and right? Like we're like, this is a party
I'm going to invite Snoop Dogg and Bruno Mars.
Oh, that's fun. So you get some musicians on there for sure.
But we could have a stretch black limo with tables for tea.
No. I'd much prefer the party bus. Yeah. Okay. So I've got a guilty pleasure, and it's the Real Housewives.
Oh.
So I think I would invite the New York Housewives and the Beverly Housewives.
Would they get along?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody does, I'm sure. On my bus, yes.
Perfect.
Everybody, yes, we're all getting along.
So I've never watched it, so would we be
It's a train wreck. It'd be so much fun. And that's why.
Well, cheers to the Real Housewives joining the party bus.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Don't tell anybody.
The secret is safe with us. So tell us, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I distinctly have this picture that I drew in, I think it was first grade. And I've never been able to decide any, like I have so many different interests that it's if you ask like for one thing, it's just really, really hard for me. So I remember drawing, they asked the same question, my teacher did. And I remember drawing on one side, me on a stage as a singer, and on the other side, a veterinarian.
Oh.
So I was going to be a singing veterinarian. I don't know, I guess.
Hey, perfect.
But it changed a lot. I wanted to be an astronaut at one point, a marine biologist. I wanted to train like killer whales at one point.
How would you train killer whales?
I don't know. That was a big problem. Then later on when I could read, it was like, how am I going to do that? In Minnesota. How am I going to
I know,
do
isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's funny because I travel quite a bit, and I've been to, the East Coast, which has great seafood, West Coast, both. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why do I live in landlocked Wisconsin where there's not seafood? And I would totally be a pescatarian if I had the option, but we are just landlocked here. So tell us about some of the challenges that you faced along the way throughout your career and how you overcame them.
When I first moved challenges are, in the entertainment industry, or they're always hard. There's a challenge. I mean, they're kind of depends on, how well you do on stage, how well you do with anxiety, how well you do with people telling you can't do this, or,
Really? Well, I think of how, like you said, headshot. Mm-hmm. People are judging you on your appearance, and if you're not selected, that's got to be
you kind of have to be nuts in a way. I mean, because I have been rejected more than I've been accepted, on every level, and you just kind of it does affect you, but you just kind of have to I let it go. You just, the minute that it's out there and you've done your best, then you just have to just let it go.
Sure. But as a young professional,
it was hard. There was a lot of I don't know. I mean, I guess I had to take a break. I couldn't. It was really. I'm more sensitive. Some people, I think, can kind of push through those things. I think too. It's important to surround yourself with people that are really supportive. And I may not have always made the best choices doing that, but
sure.
I'm a persistent person. So, and I believe that that I can offer some worth, some talent.
Right.
And so I've never really let that deter me.
Good
even
for
if
you.
Even if I did for a day or
sure.
for a month, I wasn't going to let anything, stop me from finally getting.
Cheers to that.
So, yeah. Cheers.
Okay, let's go back to the anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Are you an introvert, extrovert? You said you love being in front of camera. Tell us about that.
But in my private, I much rather, I like to be alone. I like my alone time. Once I'm on stage, it's fine. But everything leading up to that is just complete anxiety. It always has been, even in high school. Every play,
really?
every performance, every speech, tournament,
Then why do you do it?
I love the challenge, and I love when I'm done. Like, it's the weirdest thing, but when I'm done and I know that I've given it my all, and I know I've worked for that, the satisfaction is out of this world. It's so much, and I want to overcome that.
Sure.
I also think that it's taking me time, and you kind of lose it after you don't use it for a while. So the last time I was on stage,
really?
It had been a while. And I remember, I thought my heart was going to pound out of my chest. And then I was like, I need to take a class. So I think I'm going to take a class. You have to kind of keep doing it. It's like with anything else, right? You have to keep educating yourself, and things change so much. And then that's knowledge, that's power, that's confidence. And but I think how I've gotten through it too is, I've decided Therese, you have to use that anxiety, and you have to turn that into energy on stage. And that's kind of how I've gone through it. There's never been a time where I've just been like, oh yeah, I got this. No.
Wow.
No,
you are courageous.
Never.
So how do you remember your lines? If I had anxiety, I would fumble and forget my lines.
That's kind of it's changed a lot over the years. And it's been a long time since I've had to memorize something. But what I have learned over time is it's easier when you are listening to the other person and you're actually in it. You have to practice. You have to rehearse.
Right.
And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. And people are having conversations, and it's making sense now if you're really into it. Before, it was just, what's my next line? I'd be thinking in my head, what's my next line after this person says this?
Sure,
when you're first starting out.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think, really, the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
So music's a totally different animal, though.
I can't even imagine.
That comes easy to me.
These actors that sing, perform, and dance on stage, my mind.
Oh, the dancing, that's just, no.
They are so talented.
Yeah.
They are so talented. And I have to share, I used to work at Target Corporation. And I wanted to continuously advance throughout my career. However, I was petrified of public speaking.
Okay.
And so I thought, okay, I need to be able to command a room if I want to be in a leadership role. So how am I going to get over this? So I joined Toastmasters.
Okay.
which was super cheesy, but it got me to the point where I was comfortable then speaking in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took it to the next level, and Target gracefully paid for Power Talk, which then there was a camera right in my face.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to use gesturing, which, you know, my mom's deaf. So I got the gesturing down because they're all about not using PowerPoint. But it's just so fascinating how even I, who was petrified, like nervous, would stumble over my speech, can learn to be in front of my... Now I've spoken to hundreds of people at one time, you know, as the keynote, and it's easy now.
Yeah, it's easy.
And you know what I always think when I'm going on stage? I always think, no one's listening to me anyway.
That's a good way to go about it, too.
And half the time, the lights are so bright that you can't even see the crowd.
No, you can't. No, you can't. You just kind of lose yourself in it a little bit. You've practiced, you've rehearsed, you know what you're going to say, you believe in what you're going to say.
Right.
You're proud of what you're going to say. And that makes it easy. I will say, I booked one job it was in New York City, and I had to go to the Jacob Javits Center, and it was for a software company or like Linux or something like that. Oh,
yeah.
So I had to memorize page after page of like jargon, like computer.
Tech jargon?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm saying. It was probably the hardest thing I have ever had to memorize. And to this day, I flubbed. Like on stage at one point.
But
I'll
what
never forget
you were on stage? What were you doing on stage for a tech company?
It was like a big convention for different companies, and they'd hire actors to kind of gain attention. You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
Like bunnies, but it wasn't like that. It was just. I was just so excited to go to New York,
Right.
Like, yeah.
I love
and then I'm
New
like, I
York.
remember getting the script and going, I have no idea what I'm saying. What is that? I don't know.
Did anyone notice that you flubbed?
The other actor next to me sure did.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Yes, I got quite the dirty look about that one, because I just remember going, because you're taught as an actor, help your other actors out, because it happens.
Oh, I love this. See, I know nothing about this.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
you're encouraging on stage.
Yeah. If somebody forgets, oh, hey, don't you remember about that floppy disk? You know what? You can't tear that. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to help. You don't want anybody to fail.
Right.
Well, you shouldn't, at least.
Absolutely.
So no, this dude just sat there like stone-faced, waiting for me to like figure it out. It was probably 5 seconds, but it felt like
an hour,
5 minutes. But that's again, like if you know what you're saying, like it's so awesome that you've gotten to that point. You can do it.
Yeah, anyone can do that.
Yes. Yeah.
So talk to me about a failure. What's one failure you've had and you overcame?
One. I mean, I feel like, I guess failure and kind of regret kind of for me kind of go hand in hand. And I don't want to think that I regret things, but there are certain things that I do. I wish that I think I failed at taking on responsibility with the opportunity that I was given and not working as hard as I should have.
Like
kind of taking it for granted. In my in my early 20s, I kind of wish that I mean, there's plenty since then. I mean, geez, if we had years of but I'm assuming you're meaning, kind of career failures.
Yeah.
I think I wish I wouldn't have been so impatient to leave school too and to go off to LA. I don't think I was emotionally prepared on any level. And I wish I would have just kind of I failed at recognizing those opportunities and that time to mature a little bit.
Sure.
And just learn more and just be equipped with more tools to handle what was kind of being thrown at me. I think I failed to recognize that I might not be as resilient at that age as I thought that I would have been. So
it takes some life experience to get the resiliency, in my opinion, and then you're off to LA in a whole different world that I can't even imagine in the Hollywood scene, and
which was fun. But I was supposed to be working, so I was trying to work.
Right.
So, not taking things as seriously as I probably should have, and that comes with some maturity. And I think, some people have it earlier than others. And, I kind of thought that, it's going to come. It'll come easy. And it doesn't. You have now, how many times more people that you're competing with than you did somewhere else.
I can't even imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
hundreds and thousands of people that you're in competition with.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's got to be fierce. That to me is even daunting.
Mm-hmm. You kind of can't wrap your head around it. And now it's different because technology has had such a boom that there are people that can set up studios in their own homes and do it, that
Absolutely.
haven't had any sort of experience, but they're able to kind of get their things out and get exposure. And so there's even more so than we think there are, you know what I mean? You can't even, so it's so much of it's just who right place at the right time, luck of the draw. I'd like to say it's all talent, but it's
always goes back to who you know. That's why I tell everyone, stay connected. Use your network
surround
wisely.
yourself with people who support you, who are in it to help, that you can help as well.
Absolutely.
So
how about what's the best advice you've ever been given, Therese?
There's probably advice I've been given that I didn't take that I wish I would have. I mean, I've heard from numerous people and things that I've read that to find the thing that you love to do and try to figure out a way to do it. And so I guess I've always tried to do that. It hasn't always made money. Sometimes it has. Also, don't wait is another thing that I've heard that I maybe didn't take, that I wish I would have, that I might say to somebody else. Like, if you have an idea, like, let it go, write it down, keep it, just kind of see where it goes, because you don't know where it's going to go. You just, all of a sudden, just one little spark can kind of lead off to something else that might help you meet someone else, and you just don't know where it's going to go. And that's exciting. So.
Absolutely. Well, when you have the desire and then you take action,
don't
it
wait
unfolds in front of you, and it's crazy how it happens.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times too, other people are doing the same. They're kind of waiting for somebody else to maybe pull that out of them. And then all of a sudden, if you just do it, it's like, answering things in the classroom, you know what I mean? It can start a dialogue that maybe they were waiting for, and said, you might as well just, if you have that idea, just throw it out, because the person sitting next to you might have the same thing, and maybe they weren't ready to say it. And then, I don't know. It's just,
Absolutely. So what's the best advice you would have for our listeners?
I guess along that same vein, is to go for it. Don't wait for somebody to tell you that it's a good idea, or that, don't let anybody poo-poo your idea. Like, I get so bummed out about that. Just if you have if you have to, write it down and hold it to yourself for a while and get things kind of laid out before you put that out there. Sometimes you have to do that too, and that's fine. Just believe in yourself and don't hold back. Go for it.
I love it.
There's no better time than the present. So.
Cheers to that.
Yep. Cheers.
So where can we find you?
Well,
do you have a LinkedIn profile?
I do. I have a LinkedIn profile, Therese Molloy. I have a website, theresemolloy.com.
Ooh, her own website.
Yeah.
Of course she does.
I do. It's got some good commercials on there, and it's got a demo and
fun.
And then I'm working on another project where there should be a website launch. Hopefully, I'm just kind of waiting for other things to happen with the it's catering, but it's not really catering company. So hopefully,
I can't wait to see and hear all about it. Thank you so much for your wonderful insight and joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss an update. For all of you hiring leaders who want to know the best way to find your future talent, go to careersandcocktails.com to download your free hiring strategy guide. And for all of you job seekers who hate your Mondays, you can go to the same website to find out where to purchase my book, I Hate Mondays. See you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.